Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JD Temple here from the Light of the Darkness. Um, I just had a video that I ended up taking down in the middle of the premiere. Sorry about that. I just had second thoughts about it. If you want to check it out, though, it is in the members only section of the channel. So if you sign up there, you'll be able to access that video. Um, it was a pretty wild possession video. You get to see a segment of it. Um, and it's also an interactive rite. You will be blessed by all of those spirits that I give offerings to in that video. It's pretty wild. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just how weird and how strange it is doing this. And I know for people that don't do this kind of thing, they find it odd, they find it weird. A lot of people just don't like it at all. It's really difficult in this world to be yourself when the world is demanding that you get in line with what it wants. And we see that in many areas, especially in when it comes to the aspects of our social lives and other people. I can't expect everyone to understand and get me. I can't expect everyone to understand and get why I do this, why I love to do it. And like it or not, it's just because it is who I am. And some people will not accept that. Some people will try to insist that you aren't who you are. There's been plenty of things in my life that I've had a struggle with to accept. Many things. Many, many things. But when it comes, and I'm not going to say that I have not had a challenge, a major challenge in accepting other people and accepting their lifestyle and accepting who they are, everyone has 50 to 100 different things that's in the makeup of who they are and what they do that other people aren't going to agree with or like. If you have a passion in life, pursue it. If something feels like it's part of your destiny, don't run from it. I mean, I really can't explain to where anyone would understand why I do this. If it wasn't a big part of who I am, and if it wasn't a big part of my passions in life, I wouldn't be wasting my time. I definitely wouldn't be doing this in any kind of way. And yes, it has been a struggle at times to do it. And I have struggled with it. And the truth of the matter is that it boils down to me feeling that pinch and me feeling how unacceptable it is to everyone else. We all have many, many things to live for in this world. And looking out and taking care of the people that you love should be number one. And I'm not going to say that I have been the best in that department at times. In fact, I've been horrible at that. And that's something that I need to change in my life big time, and I plan on doing it. I intend on doing it. Like, no one wants to feel like they're bad all the time, and that what they do is bad, and that they're just bad. Like, when you feel that all the time, it's really difficult to continue doing it. And that's where it comes in. Like, I know, and I've like preached it too, but it's hard to be like, well, fuck what other people think. And yeah, I mean, ultimately that's really how it has to be, especially when it's something that is a big part of who and what you are. I guess there's just like certain things about yourself that you just cannot compromise without losing a huge part of yourself and who you are. And that's a personal decision. That's up to you whether or not you would be willing to fold or bend in that way. And yes, you have to compromise. Yes, you have to be fair. Yes, everything needs to be within reason. But when it comes down to the simple matters and facts of like, that's just who you are, that's just what you do, it's a part of what keeps you going in this world. If you have something that you like to do, that you're passionate about, that doesn't involve doing any kind of drugs or substances to prevent you from being present in that moment, pursue it. If it's positive, you should be doing it. If it's something that you love to do, you should be doing it. If it's sports, if it's dancing, if it's magic, if it's making videos, if it's art, if it's music, whatever the case may be. I never planned on any of this. I never planned on being right here, doing this right here, right now. Never. Crazy thing is, it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years. I've been doing this for 8 years on YouTube. Obviously, it's a big part of my life. It's a big part of who I am. Like it or not, that's just what it is. And has it gotten in the way of other things in life at times? Yeah, big time. Like a motherfucker. And in the past, I was definitely guilty of oversharing and sharing too much, being a defensive prick, being an asshole. When you're hurting, sometimes you just want to bring the chaos. Sometimes you just don't know what else to do. But, you know, apparently I need more balance in my life, and I am definitely trying very, very hard to do that. To be everything to everyone that I need to be. To provide, give them whatever it is that is needed in life to help them and support them. That's what I'm here for. It's part of my job. It's part of being a man. And I do that. I do that. There's a lot out there that don't. Not even close. Am I saying I'm perfect? Fuck no. No. Like, yeah. I've done plenty of things that I'm not proud of. Plenty of things that go against my conscience, that went against the authentic voice of God. And yes, every time that I did that, I paid the price. Karmic debt is definitely real. People will come into your lives to deliver karma. You will come into their lives to deliver karma. There are people in the world that, like, have literally been tasked with that role. In every person's life that they go into, they get a piece. They get it delivered. They get served. They get served a big old helping of that good old karma. And I've been on both sides of it. It sucks. It sucks. Dirty jobs are not easy. And a lot of us get assigned with spiritual tasks and contracts to where, unfortunately, you're going to be the bad guy. And you're going to have to be the bad guy. In order for things to go down like they need to, someone's got to be the villain. Sometimes. But it's not usually by choice. You get sucked into it. You get sucked into that whole karmic wheel or karmic environment that is created there between the parties. That you do learn the biggest lessons from the people that you have loved the most, from the people that have hurt you the most. And I do think that it's true. Like, I think most people that you hurt and most people that hurt you, they're pretty tight people with you in the spiritual realm. That person that broke your heart, you chose that. You chose them to do it. You love them so much, you wouldn't have it any other way. It's like Jesus and Judas, right? Many people don't realize this because it's in part of the lost gospels, but Judas was Jesus' absolute best friend and most trusted disciple of all of them. And he chose him, Jesus, Yeshua chose him to be the one. To be the one. And once you've loved someone like that, I just really don't think that you can ever absolutely hate them. Because I'm telling you from my own experience, like, if you are hating them, and if you are hating on them, it's because you do care. And it's because you do love them. If you didn't give a fuck, you wouldn't even be doing it. You wouldn't even care. It wouldn't even be a thing. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, right? Life is not always unicorns and rainbows. Actually, it's like maybe only 10% of life. And if that's the case, then what does that mean? That means that we seriously have to start living in the moment. We have to start appreciating those special moments, those unicorns and rainbows, when we have them. Like, how precious are those good moments? There is nothing better than those good moments. They're everything. They're everything that we live for. They're everything that we die for. Like, to love someone so much that you would do just about anything to ensure that they'd have goodness in their life. I've had to like walk away from so many freaking people in my life just because I knew that I wasn't good for them. And it sucks. It's so hard. Like when there's certain things that you're just not able to change about yourself, but you know it's needed, and you know that if you don't do those things, then you're just going to wreck everything for everyone else. You have to like take one for the team and kind of like go find your own field to play in for a while. And like, even though I've been that person, I've had people in my life that have been that person too. And it's just like almost too hard to even wrap my head around the fact that someone would love me enough to do that. Why would you be mad? Why would you be upset about it? Like, it's hard not to be upset, but it's so hard to accept and appreciate too. Like, I can be that person. I can be the one. Like, I'll do it for you. But it's almost like I can't even let you do that for me. I can't even accept that you would do that for me. Sometimes you're just sinking and you can't be saved. And sometimes you're sinking and you have to save yourself. And who can ever be upset with anyone for doing that? You can't be. You can't be. Unless you're a real piece of work, you can't be. It's hard to let go. Letting go is the hardest thing. You know, sometimes that's like all you see. Everywhere. You see them in everyone, in everything. You hear it in every song, and you're reminded. It's like, what is the universe trying to show me here? What is the universe trying to teach me here? Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, I feel like we all think and believe that there are certain things in this world that we're not going to have to go through, that we're not going to have to experience, that you're going to be kept safe from those things. And it's like, oh, that just happens to other people, but that wouldn't happen to me. Wake up call. It can, and if it can, it most likely will. I don't think that I'll ever be able to hold on that tightly again, or ever even allow that to happen. But I guess this is just like a point in my life to really focus on making the best life for myself that I can, and that means like working very hard so that I can create the reality that I want, so that I can be living where I want, in a home that I own, that I'm happy being there, and that it's a great environment. And I always like, I just wanted someone to share that with, like, so bad. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I've only had like 3 serious relationships since I was like 17. And every single one of them have like hurt in their own way. And I hurt all of them differently in my own way in the relationships. It's crazy. It's like I knew what I needed, but I didn't know how to go about getting it. And you can talk and talk and talk and talk until you're blue in the face. But like, words just don't mean anything. It's all about action. It's all about action. And like, you know, either you're dishing it out or you're taking it in. I just got so close this time. So close that it like is terrifying. Like, I don't know if we're able to ever let anyone in absolutely without them getting burned in the end. And I guess for a lot of us too, like, maybe we know and realize certain things about ourselves, maybe we don't. And maybe that's the problem. Like, when you get so close to a person that your spiritual connection is so massive and intense that it literally becomes terrifying. Like, I am scared. I'm scared of how close that I got and how close, like, I think I'm just terrified at how much vulnerability that I allowed. I mean, as one does. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that, like, I had opened my heart in ways that I never had before. And it was more than I ever experienced. It just has me, like, absolutely shocked. But I mean, I'm not shocked. I mean, I'm definitely not shocked. But, you know, regarding people, I've done a lot of great things. A lot of great things. And things that should be done and things that should have been done. I've done a lot of horrible fucking things too that I fucking regret, like, so fucking much. Like, especially in regards to other people. And especially, like, the people that I love. I mean, I have hurt a lot of people that I love. Like, in the last 20 years, especially. There are many, many cases where I made decisions to hurt people that I love because I was only thinking about myself in that moment. And, like, a bigger picture of some blah whatever that I don't even understand. Like, why would you do that? Usually for me, it's just, you know how things build up and build up and build up, and then they get to a certain point, and if they do, and your back's against the wall, and there's nowhere else for you to be pushed or shoved, then you begin to push back. And I guess for a lot of us, when we're hurt, we don't necessarily match caliber to caliber. We just pull out the nuke and destroy everything and everyone because it's just like, fuck it. I will say this, y'all, like, you need people. You need people in your life. I don't care how much you've been hurt. I don't care how antisocial you are. I don't care if you're convinced that everyone out there is an evil piece of shit and you don't need them whatsoever. Well, I'm here to tell you that you do. You do. You can't do that for too long, forever. You just can't. It will lead you to some really wonky places that are difficult to get out of. It'll put you in a timeline of isolation that will be hell to transfer from. And knowing that, it's imperative that the important relationships in your life, that you nurture them, that you do your best to fulfill their needs. And if you care and you do your best to understand what those are and to deliver on them, it's easy to get swept away and caught up in your own life and in your own bullshit, and to not be there for people when they need you. You've got to make deposits into those emotional piggy banks of the people that you care about. You have to make deposits because there will be times where you need to make a withdrawal. And if there's nothing in that account, if you have not put time, effort, and attention into that emotional piggy bank, there won't be anything to withdraw. They will not be there when you need them. And you can see how that works. Reciprocation. Reciprocation is paramount. Like, there's been many years in my life that I've just been a taker, and thought that that was okay, and thought that was the way that it should be, and that was the only way that I could survive, because that's the way that I learned how to, apparently. But I do find that you do receive so much more when you're giving. You receive so much more when you're giving with a humble heart, with no strings attached, and needing nothing in return. So many people in this world live transactionally. They're transactional in their relationships, they're transactional in their interpersonal relationships. What are you going to do for me? Because I damn sure ain't doing anything for you until you do first. Or maybe you'll have to do 3 and I'll do 1. Don't be like that. I'm not saying I haven't been. Guilty of all of it. Guilty of all of it. But just reflecting now. And in that reflection comes understanding, comes truth, some harsh truths, some hard truths. And yes, I have definitely come to understand that there is nothing more powerful, glorious, and brutal at the same time than truth. It's a hard pill to swallow when that truth is something that you can hardly bear. But you can't run from it. You have to face it. You have to allow yourself to accept it. You don't have to accept it. But in the not accepting things, it's very easy to create a fantasy world of delusion, absolutely fueled by your denial, gaslighting yourself. That's crazy. But it's very, very, very easy to get caught up in a fantasy world where you're idealizing all of these people and all of these things, creating like a whole false reality because like the one that you're in is so out of whack that they couldn't be reality. You have to like start just lying to yourself in order to get through it. And that's a weird thing too, isn't it? Like, hey baby, you know when you're in denial, you know when you're lying to yourself. And sometimes instead of like shutting that down, they can actually like add to the delusion and start to like expand upon it even more. So getting grounded is important. Acceptance is important. Being understanding and forgiving is important. Being loving is important. Like, yeah, you hurt them. Yeah, they hurt you. but you love them. You love them. No matter what, you fucking love them. So why does it matter? Does it even matter? No. It doesn't matter. Does it matter who was righter and who was wronger? And who's right was worse than who's wrong? And only looking at all of the negative aspects and absolutely forgetting all of those wonderful, loving moments that literally took you to paradise. Certain people and certain connections in this world, they have a way of connecting you to divinity in ways that other people just aren't able to. That's a special quality. It's a special gift. It's a very special experience. And it's transcendent. You don't forget these things. You don't take them lightly. You know how precious they are. And I will tell you, like, you will certainly have spiritual connections with people that you could never have with anyone else. Not like that. And I guess when you have a spiritual connection to someone like that too, it really doesn't matter what they do. Because, like, their home is, like, in your heart forever. Like, they are home and you are home. And that can't be denied. Sometimes I guess it has to be. For the sake of whatever. But we know. We know. And that's all that really matters, right? So yeah, keep showing up everywhere and everything. I'll probably be doing that too. Sorry. But yeah, that's about what I wanted to say and talk about. Just crazy life stuff. No magic things right now, sorry, but just wanted to do that. So yeah, love you guys. Have a great day. I'm gonna go see my daughters before they go to church. Got the ritual tonight. You can still sign up until 8 p.m. for tonight's group ritual, the Rite of Nuclear Vision, where I will be evoking King PAIMON and giving him a sacrifice of my own on behalf of everyone that's participating in order to move into the new timeline that we are intended on being in, to bring forth to the surface all of your latent talents and abilities so that they can be realized and put into action in this world. And also oh yeah, I'm sorry, a text popped up and I looked at it and I shouldn't have, because once I saw it I just totally had a brain fart. But I remember what I was saying now. You can sign up for that ritual at jdtemple.info. You have until 8 p.m. Eastern tonight to do that. So go there and sign up if you will, if you want to. You got just a few more hours. And I'll see you guys later. I love you.